That's exactly how I feel now after talking to our guest this week. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Instant Replay. I'm your host, Zohaib Naqvi. This week we had Fahad Meer in our studio. Now, Fahad Meer is more so known for his career-inspiring speeches, his workshops that are held across the country, and we actually had him here to talk about cricket. People don't know, but Fahad has been a cricket fan since the 92 World Cup when Pakistan won. And so naturally, since then, Fahad's seen a lot of cricket and naturally he's formed a lot of opinions. So we get to talk to him about those opinions and we get to share his views on what he thinks, the situation of Pakistani cricket is right now. So really hope you guys enjoy the podcast. He's a super inspirational guy and a super funny and charismatic guy as well. So enjoy. See you guys. We're all live. Yo, Fahad, do the PIA impression again for me. Real quick.
ख़वातीन हज़रात, आपसे दरख्वास्त है कि जो भी पैसेंजर्स कराची के लिए रवाना हो रही है वो गेट 24 पर पहुंच जाइए. शुक्रिया. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Okay, that's enough.
That's pretty good, man.
It's been my lifelong dream, actually.
To be a PIA pilot or a
PIA pilot,
air host,
and one of those PA announcers as well.
Gotcha.
This is pretty close, actually. This comes close to my dream.
This comes pretty close. You're speaking right into a mic. You got the headphones on. Dream come true.
Amazing.
That's what we do here at Instant Replay.
Man, this has been my lifelong dream.
No,
it's been fulfilled. I don't know what to.
I'm so happy to hear that. It only started maybe 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, but it's been your lifelong dream, so that's good.
Hey man, this is why I knew I should be friends with you, man. You're the man that makes dreams come true.
I appreciate that, buddy. So Fahad, we're really happy to have you. Obviously, you're a celebrity amongst us.
No, not at all, dude.
Yes, you are, man.
No, not at all.
Yes, you are.
Not at all.
You do a lot of stuff, which we'll get into later down the road, maybe like towards the end of what you do outside of just work and following, sports. But we know you're a huge cricket fan.
I love cricket.
Love cricket. And so naturally, because you're a huge cricket fan, before we actually even get into the whole cricket side of it, let's talk about a little bit about, let's just ask you a Q&A session. We like to give our guests, or our listeners a little idea of what kind of profile the guest is.
Uh-oh.
And so let's just ask quick Q&A session. Let's go. First question here off the top of my head. Who's your favorite athlete, Fahad?
Is it weird to say Shahid Afridi?
All right, only one ball to go because it'll be 4 or out.
He goes again, goes big, that's up in the air. And it's 6. Shahid Afridi, the beauty. What a win. Pakistan have snatched it. Shahid Afridi has done it.
Shahid Afridi is your favorite athlete?
I don't really have a favorite basketball player. Baseball,
That's fair.
I don't
That's
watch.
fair.
I substituted baseball with cricket.
Yeah.
Swimming, I don't really like swimming. Golf is just golf.
Okay.
Which other sports exist in this world?
Okay, fair enough. Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough.
I think
Okay, so
Shahid Afridi.
that's perfect.
Don't judge me, guys.
And so how'd you become a cricket fan?
I think cricket's in the blood. My dad used to be or still is a pretty avid cricket player, actually. And back in the day, he used to play a lot of cricket for the eastern province of Saudi Arabia. And I pretty much grew up to watching my dad play cricket, and then also him coming back home from playing cricket and then watching cricket on TV. So I used to wake up, sleep, eat, breathe cricket.
What age is this?
As far back as I can remember, to be honest. I think my earliest memory I have of cricket was the 92 World Cup.
92 World Cup. Oh, so you're the Imran Khan generation.
Well, but that's the thing. I'm doing the math, and I was only 4
Yeah, you were 4 years
old.
old. I was like, how are you actually comprehending the sport altogether?
That's the thing, man. Cricket was in my blood, so I was born innate to cricket.
Would you say your parents are cricket fans? Like your dad is a cricket fan?
Yeah, let's reword that to just my dad. My mother hates cricket.
Oh, does she?
Yeah. She doesn't like it when I play it, when I watch it, or especially when my dad plays it or he watches it as well.
Yeah, no, my dad's a diehard cricket fan.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a boxing,
Is your mom the same way?
No.
No, she's
probably like in the same way as your mom. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
She's not the biggest fan,
Why
but
is
she'll
that?
watch the World Cup.
Yeah.
right? Like when
Yeah.
there's a big tournament happening, or Pakistan versus India,
Oh, that's
then
the
she'll
best.
tune in.
Yeah.
You know, those are the big matchups.
Yeah.
But other than that, she doesn't really care. My dad will watch like Sri Lanka versus New Zealand. It makes no sense to him. No, there's no attachment to any team, but he'll watch any team.
Yeah, I do the same. I mean, usually if Australia is playing at home, here in Canada, it's about bedtime for me. So
Yeah.
it's a good way for me to fall asleep too. Is just
You
watch
fall
some.
asleep to cricket.
I mean, Test cricket.
Oh, that's true. That's a
Test cricket where Pakistan's not playing, of course. That
So
helps
are
me
you
fall
one of
asleep.
those people? And I was talking to a lot. I talk to a lot of cricket fans naturally because brown people are just cricket fans. But
That's interesting. But what about
Yeah.
the white people? It's this sport was born in England.
it's true. It's true.
So why does everyone
Who are the
associate-
3 big nations that play cricket? Right? There's
Yeah.
India, definitely, or 4, I guess. You can count Pakistan, England,
Yeah,
Australia.
yeah.
Right? Those are the
Yeah.
big nations. I guess if you go into the second tier, you can say South Africa, West Indies,
Yeah.
Sri Lanka. To be quite honest, I don't even know if they're second tier, but those are all
Yeah,
Gen 1 cricket teams, I'd say.
yeah. No,
Right?
I agree. But
Tier
I think
1 cricket teams.
India, Pakistan, England, Australia. So I mean, that's 50-50. So when people
Yeah.
consider this a brown sport, it's really not completely brown, man.
Yeah, I
It's-
agree. But because of India being there, it's like the largest
Yeah.
population. It just seems that way.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know what I mean? Oh, well, that's awesome. So if you could, if you were given the opportunity to play on a cricket team, any one of the cricket teams out there, who would you choose?
I think that's a given. I think I would go with the baggy greens, and that's not Australia. But
No, but which generation?
oh,
Like, would you say 92, 99, now? I hope you don't say now. I mean, if you watch cricket for the Pakistani team, there's no way you're going to be choosing now. But
you know what? I think I would actually go for now because right now is
What?
right now is the time for people to shine. Right now, our cricketing
is
nation
terrible.
is terrible.
Yep.
Right? There's scandals upon scandals. We don't have any great players. This is the time where heroes are born. I'm not going to consider myself a hero if I were to ever play cricket for the team of Pakistan, but if I were to play, if I wanted to go into a generation, it'd be
You're a
right
hero
now.
in everyone's books.
No.
Regardless of
Just
whether
the-
you
just the
play
accounting
cricket or
books.
not.
Just my clients' books. That's it. Hopefully the balance.
Fair enough. Nice, man. So, okay, so you choose now. I would have never expected you to say that. I would have thought you would have definitely said the 99 team where you would have been.
But why not now?
Because
though?
the mentorship, think about the mentorship that you would have gotten by playing on the 99
But what
team.
about you becoming the mentor and mentoring other people?
Do you have that experience already? If you were a new star coming into the league and into international cricket,
Yeah.
would you not want to have the mentors of Wasim Akram, Waqar Yunus,
But let's put it this way. So,
batsman Inzi, Muhammad Yusuf, Yunus Khan? I could go on and on.
but then all those guys have retired, and now they have more time.
Saeed Anwar.
Oh yeah, that guy's a legend. He's an absolute legend. 194, left-handed batsman, absolutely classy.
Oh my god.
But think about it this
That's
way: they're-
194. Nowadays, the pitches are all flat, in my
Yeah.
opinion, and so records are being broken left, right, and center for batting.
record for Pakistan is crossing 194 as a team.
Yeah, exactly. For Pakistan nowadays, it's like 194 as a team. But I remember the days. So I started watching cricket back in '99. That World Cup was when I actually started watching cricket, actually genuinely. And I can honestly say that it was between 99 and early 2000s. I'd probably say it was very rare for a team to be scoring 300.
Yeah.
270 was a fantastic total. 300 was unheard of.
Yeah.
Nowadays, 300 is what you need.
But why is that? I mean, the cricketing game hasn't really changed. Is it?
It's
And
the pitches.
The pitches have changed. The bats have relatively changed as well. The ball
Yeah.
has always been
Skill
the ball.
might have improved. I don't know, but that might play it. But I think the biggest thing is the pitches, in my opinion.
Yeah.
In my opinion, there's a lot of, arenas out there that have just gotten flat. Because if you think about it, every sport is like this. Whether you look at the NHL, they reduced the pads for the goalies so they would allow more goals. Basketball has now transferred from being like a 80, 90 points per game sport into
to
100
120.
plus,
Yeah.
right? It goes into 120. We've seen 140 this season, which is ridiculous, right? And now, offense wins, and cricket is the same way. It's more entertaining to see a six than a wicket being bowled.
Well, it
and
depends who's bowling the
and fans'
wicket.
opinions.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if Shoaib Akhtar is bowling and he's hitting a
God.
Yorker,
Or Wasim Akram,
or
to be
Wasim
quite
Akram.
honest. The way those guys used to either swing or pace,
yeah.
I would much rather watch that than any batsman out there.
But I don't know, watching a Shahid Afridi 6, even though it may
yeah.
not look pretty,
That's
it
true.
goes far.
Especially if it's like an innings where he's actually there for like 30 balls and
Yeah.
he's made like 70, 80 runs because he's totally capable of
You
that.
know what? He was the one batsman.
Boom,
Boom Boom, man. It's a really fobby nickname, but I guess that it'll do. It's made him millions.
Yeah.
But he was the one batsman that I felt like I mean, cricketing is a sport. People watch it for entertainment,
Yeah.
right? So for me, entertainment
And this
really.
is your favorite athlete, right? Shahid
Yeah,
Afridi.
and I mean, he's the type of guy where you come out, you know your heart's gonna be either broken or your night's gonna be made by watching him play.
Yeah.
Oftentimes my heart was broken, but that's the excitement.
Very often, I'd say.
That's the excitement. That's the excitement of watching cricket.
It's a hit or miss.
Yeah, it
it's
really
like a
is.
gamble. Every time he comes onto the pitch, either he's going to take you to the victory or it's going to be a dud and you're going downhill.
I think a lot of your audience can probably relate to this as well. You know that when Shahid Afridi performs poorly with the bat, he's gonna perform well with the ball. And if he sucks bowling, you know he's gonna field well. And if he sucks doing all of those, you know he's just gonna look good out in the field. So at the end of the day, you can't go wrong with that guy. You really can't. And that's the thing. When he performs well with the ball, he says he's a bowler. When he performs well with the bat, he says he's a batting all-rounder. Yeah, I don't know. He's just an interesting guy, and you know what? He's been through a lot.
I feel like you like him more so for the entertainment value than the skill level.
But what is sports to people? Isn't it entertainment?
A lot of people might consider it more than just entertainment.
But how much more can one consider sports?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. So I mean, that's exciting. I mean, Pakistan obviously, since you're a big Pakistani cricket fan, obviously isn't where it needs to be right now. I was looking at the rankings, and so I believe, actually, let me pull up the rankings right here. I have the rankings, and I don't think we're doing well nowadays. Like, I think India is number 1 in tests right now. Pakistan's not in the top 5 in tests, okay? In fact, I think we're actually below Bangladesh in one of the categories, either ODI, tests, or T20s. And
so I think one of the headlines was that I don't think we're even going to make the 2019 World Cup, by the way. Can you believe that?
That's no way. That's not
so
true.
we actually still have to qualify for the 2019 World Cup because our ranking's that low, which is absolutely crazy.
I got the rankings right here. Okay, ready? So let's do tests first. Okay, we have India, Australia, South Africa, England, New Zealand, Pakistan. So,
who's below us?
Who's below us? Sri Lanka.
Okay, you know what? At least we're doing better than Sri Lanka and West Indies, right?
Oh yeah,
those are pretty good countries.
Wait till you get to the. This is the one.
Was that test match? By the way,
that was test match. Okay, ODI. Ready for the ODI? Okay. South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, India, England, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Pakistan.
You know what? At least India's not first.
I'm
just kidding.
What? Indian cricket fans will tune off right now.
Hey, no, just kidding. Just playing around.
T20, we have New Zealand, India, South Africa, West Indies, England, Pakistan. Australia is below us. That's odd to me.
That is very odd. But what's odd to me is that we were known to be the T20 champions. Like when the whole T20 format came to be, we were supposed to be number 1.
Yeah, but do you think that was because it was the T20 format had just arrived and now people have figured it out, or is it just...
Let's put it this way. The teams, if you read the teams off again, you'll see that all the best players in the IPL are all from those countries.
Yeah.
Whether it's England, New Zealand, and all of that. And T20 is pretty much... Like IPL has changed the face of the game altogether.
Yeah.
And the teams that are doing well in T20 are all individuals and teams that have been represented really heavily in the IPL. And unfortunately, for the past several years... Pakistanis just have never been admitted to the IPL.
Yeah, but Pakistanis have their PSL.
Yeah, but you can't really compare PSL to the IPL.
No,
it's
not
at all.
a fair comparison.
I mean,
why is that?
The pitches, in my opinion, are a little dead. Well, first of all, IPL is taking place in India, and the viewing and following in India doesn't compare
tremendous anywhere in the world. To be quite honest,
the test matches are all packed.
Yeah,
like you go to the test matches in India.
They live for cricket out there.
Cricket's. You know how I was saying that what more can cricket be than entertainment? Well, in India, cricket is their religion.
Yeah.
Right.
No, you're 100% right. I think certain people are like huge fans to a point where you could say, quote unquote, worship. Like Sachin or worship Virat Kohli.
So true.
Right.
I mean, cricketing. The cricket to Pakistan is not it could be entertainment. It could be a bit more than that in terms of side way to make money as well. We'll get into that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, if PSL was played in Pakistan, just look at the last final that was played for the PSL in Pakistan. The ground was fully packed.
Yeah.
People are having a great time, and that inherently brings the best out of players.
So let's talk about the PSL final. What do you think that impact? Finally having cricket in Pakistan after maybe 10 years. I mean, the match was complete.
It was the worst
match
game
you could have as a comeback to Pakistan. Like the teams played horrible. It was just a bad match to watch,
and no controversy too.
And definitely no controversy. But just in general, like what do you think in terms of the impact of having that PSL final in Pakistan after maybe I don't even know how many years, 10 decade plus?
You know what? Like if you think about it, the domestic circuit still takes place in Pakistan.
Yeah.
Right. That's not in the UAE or anywhere else around the world. It takes place in Pakistan itself.
Right.
What was different? What was different between the PSL and any domestic game in that takes place in Pakistan? In my opinion, there really was nothing.
Right.
There were a few foreigners that came by that stole $50,000, in my opinion, just for themselves to be present in the country.
Right.
Now, is that going to change the face of the game just because a few individuals from England came and played cricket in Pakistan? To me, it really doesn't. So I feel like a lot of this was pure marketing, and but again, like the symbolism behind this is pretty significant as well. I do want to say. And I hope that cricket does come back to Pakistan from an international point of view.
Because it hasn't been in Pakistan for so long, that's had the severe impact in terms of, like if you look at a nation like India, let's say, right? They've got cricketers coming through the pipeline constantly, right? Like they have like cricket farms basically where they're growing these cricket players, cricket players, and they're basically grooming them from like a young age. Yeah. They're coming out, they're performing, and then they come out to the international level and they perform there as well. Yep. Like a fair selection process, fair grooming process. Everything is. It seems like they've figured out the way to do this, the methodology to actually get stars like Virat Kohli up into the ranks, MS Dhoni up into the ranks. Whereas in Pakistan, you don't see that. We talked about this previously, but like you see under 19 players that perform well at the under 19 level, but they're never getting a shot at the international level, or if they are, they're not performing well there. Well, I'm just curious to know why.
I think you used a very key word when you described the Indian circuit. It's the word process, right?
Right.
I don't think there's a specific process in place in the Pakistan. I mean, I'm no one to kind of speak on it because I don't know what's.
No, speak on it, please. Speak on it, please.
There is no process in the Pakistani cricketing world, in my opinion.
Right.
The under 19 circuit going to the domestic circuit, there is no grooming, there is no training, there is no educating. In my opinion.
Right.
And I feel like if there was more emphasis placed towards that.
Yeah.
Think about it. We have some of the best cricketing followers, some of the best cricket players ever to be born in this game. And I feel like if there was process, if there was tolerance, if there was kind of training and procedures in place, we would be one of the best cricketing nations in the world.
Right.
So, and I think that's what India is really focused on. They're focused on their training. They're focused on, most importantly, educating their players as well.
Do you feel like my mom always criticizes, this makes me laugh because my mom always criticizes Pakistani players and their fitness in the field. Do you feel like there's no emphasis on, so let's say we get a process in, but there's no emphasis on like nutrition and, keeping yourself in shape? Because you see that all the time. I mean, this is from the start. I'm not saying this is nowadays. It's like from the start. Inzi, who's, we all know Inzi's run out situation. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always been the case for Pakistan, and, fitness itself, like you see, you look at Australian players. Okay, they look monstrous compared to Pakistani players.
What about the West Indies players?
West Indies, Chris Gale, just solid muscle. He's just a piece of flesh that's just muscle. You know what I mean? And so you look at Pakistani players; they're obviously.
Is Chris Gale one of your favorite players, Abe?
Well, he's everyone's favorite player, to be quite honest.
Just the way you described him.
He's just massive.
All right.
It's like 6'4". So we had a guest here that was played for Team Canada recently.
Love that episode, by the way.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Sami Faridi, he played for, and he's met Chris Gale, and he's just like, Sami Faridi's probably like 5'9", 5'10", and he's just like, Chris Gale is just a monster in size, in person.
Well, it baffles me that cricket, I think, is the one sport that has a tea break, a lunch break.
Yeah.
And like has breaks to eat. So if you I was watching a lot of videos on like.
Yeah, but I think they're just called, like, they had those back in the day, but I don't think you're supposed to acknowledge and
that's
actually
the best part about
do the action. Oh, Baraka time. You know what I mean? Like, start eating.
I was watching interviews of Wasim Akram Mukharinas, and they say that I think Pakistan is the only probably nation that takes these lunch breaks a little too seriously, where they have parathas, they say keema,
it's not
they have
a lunch break, guys.
They have halim, and no wonder like they can't perform sometimes after these innings and breaks. But on the topic of Inzamam ul-Haq, he's probably one of the best batsmen ever in the world, right? Yeah. So, but again, like his fitness has always been a question mark over his head, but he pretty much squashed that by performing really, really well.
Extremely well.
But I mean, to me, I think fitness comes in two parts. And
right.
It's not only in the cricketing world, but also in life itself. There's your physical fitness, but also mental fitness. To me, physical fitness, if you do look at some of our players, like like Shahid Afridi, for example, Shoaib Akhtar, well, now he's pretty fat, but Wasim Akram, Waqar Younis, Imran Khan, Ahmed Shahzad, like all those players are pretty fit, like physically.
Yeah.
But what about our mental fitness in our cricketing world?
Yeah.
I think that's where we need more training.
Yeah,
I think
fair.
that's where
Good
we need
point.
more emphasis, and
That's a
I think
great
that's
point.
where we lack.
Do you think players lack confidence? What do you think it is that
I think our
holding
players.
back?
I think our players are overconfident. In my
Really?
opinion. Yeah. I don't follow each one of these guys on Twitter, but
Right.
out of curiosity, like I go on Ahmed Shahzad's like Twitter page. I look at Umar Akmal's Twitter page, for example. And the amount of selfies that these guys have in the exact same pose and the exact same background is just phenomenal. I actually
Hey, maybe they just love, like, maybe they're really excited about taking pictures of themselves and they want to share it with the world, and so they're constantly uploading them on their social media. But who knows? I don't know, man.
scroll through some of these pictures.
Oh, dear God.
And I wish
This is Kamran, right?
This is Umar Akmal.
Oh, this is Omar Akmal. Oh,
This-
my God.
Just describe in words what you're seeing.
These aren't selfies. Someone's taking these pictures for him. Someone's literally, oh my God, it's the
Just
same
describe him.
shirt, just in yellow and red. It's the same thing. He's wearing sunglasses and wearing oh my God.
Is it even sunny that he's wearing sunglasses? Or
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Wow, why is he wearing a leather jacket in Pakistani climate? I don't understand.
so I think the point over there is I feel like when it comes to confidence, our players do not lack confidence
Jeez.
at all.
God, how long does this go? It's the same pose over and over.
Don't even ask why I have that saved on my phone, by the way.
Oh, dear God.
That's another question.
That's crazy.
So for me, they don't lack confidence.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of these guys have come from nothing.
Yeah,
And
100%.
they are pretty much seen as icons in Pakistan.
Yeah.
So what they lack is mental fitness, is
Yeah.
how they can use that confidence to play better on the field and help change the world that we live in as well, especially in Pakistan.
Yeah.
These guys are looked upon as role models, and a lot of our Pakistani cricket players are not corrupt. Whenever you look at our government, the government is corrupt. So why can't the Pakistani players themselves be the ones that change the face of Pakistan itself?
So let's talk about, because you brought up the word corrupt, and it goes hand in hand with scandals and what happens with Pakistan players these days, and you always hear about it. So two things. What do you think about the PCB? Because that's one big one.
Yeah.
Right. Like, let's start there. What do you think about the PCB? And my follow-up question is going to be, what do you think about the scandals that have happened in the history of Pakistani cricket? You know, we know obviously about Salman Butt. We know about Muhammad Amir. We know about Muhammad Asif, who were probably the best two duo since like Waqar and Wasim Akram.
I think they're better
right?
than Wasim and Waqar. In my
Really?
opinion.
That I don't agree with, but we'll get into that too. Okay, so what do you think about the PCB first?
You know what? I think the PCB has really taken a strong role and a strong kind of lead on ensuring that there's no corruption in our Pakistani cricketing team. So, for example, like this is just a recent past, actually. There's a recent past.
Okay.
So the PSL, for example,
Okay.
isn't it amazing that the second they found something out, some sort of lead on the recent players that got banned, like Nasser, I think it was, who was it? Oh man, the name slips my mind. It might have been Nasser Jamshed and Khalid Latif.
Okay.
They banned those players immediately,
Right.
without any like tolerance at all. That precedent is amazing. Now Mohammad Irfan is in the news as well, another great bowler.
Yeah.
Or sorry, it was
7 foot.
Sharjeel Khan, not Nasser Jamshed. Sharjeel Khan, who was at the prime of his career, in my opinion.
Right.
We're finally getting an opener that was performing well,
Yeah.
and he pretty much screwed it all up.
I'm not a big fan, to be quite honest, of Sharjeel Khan. Left-handed batsman.
He was good.
I thought he was.
You know what?
just-
He was good.
I didn't think he had the technical. Like, he always looked like he was willing to swing,
Oh yeah.
as opposed to like
He was good,
you don't
though.
pick and choose.
His
you know what I mean?
only shot that he knew how to play was a leg side flip.
Thank you.
Like that's it.
Totally agree.
That's it. He had no cover drive. Like if
That's
you compare
exactly
that
what I mean.
left-handed
It doesn't
batsman
seem like
to
he had
Saeed
the
Anwar,
technical. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to compare
Not
it
at
to.
all.
You have the left-handed opener and you have a left-handed opener. I'm trying to compare what if there's remotely the same skill level.
a lot
It
of people
doesn't seem like
compared
it.
him to Graham Smith, the
Oh,
South African
the South
cricket
African.
player.
Yeah.
Same built, same size, same technique of playing to some degree.
Mm.
But coming back to the PCB, they set a strong precedent by banning those guys, provisionally suspending them, to ensure that there's no corruption tolerated in the Pakistani cricketing world.
Right.
But that's just the recent past. What they've done in the not so recent past is where they banned Muhammad Amir, Muhammad Asif, Salman
Yeah.
Butt.
What do you think about those?
Oh,
So,
where do we
first,
begin?
First, yeah,
Where
I
do
know,
we even
I
begin
know,
with
that's
that?
a soft spot for all Pakistani cricketers, because when that got released, whether you were a huge Pakistani cricket fan or a casual Pakistani cricket fan, you knew who Muhammad Amir and
Yeah.
Muhammad Asif were. You know what I mean? They were basically carrying the mantle of that. You know, we have the best bowlers in international cricket for Pakistan since they've had it, basically since Imran Khan days. They were carrying that mantle now into this new generation, and both of them were extremely young. I wouldn't even say at their peak of
How
their
old
prime
was
of
Mohamed Amir?
performance.
17?
Yeah,
17, 18
I
at that
believe
time?
so. He was basically 18, 19 at that point in time.
And think about it this way. Imran Khan pretty much said that pair at that point in time were better than Wasim Akram and Waqar Younis.
Yeah.
And Wasim Akram said it himself as well.
Yeah.
So think about the 5 years that Mohamed Amir and Mohamed Asif missed out on,
Man.
and what that could have done for the Pakistani.
I remember
cricket world.
Mohamed Amir when he was young, when he came into the international cricket scene, and it was like batsman did not understand how a kid, because he was a kid when he came onto the scene, could be this good. I remember hearing all the top batsmen be like, this guy is going to be the future. You know what I mean? Of opposing teams, not even our teams. Opposing teams would be saying that.
He made people dance at the crease.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
Like people were off the ground doing ballet and whatnot. Like the ways balls would swing.
Yeah.
You swing both ways.
Yeah.
And Mohamed Asif, on the other hand, like he was precise with his bowling as well.
Yeah. He was a little bit older, but even then, he was like maybe, 26?
Yeah.
You know, not old by any imagination. Yeah. You know, that's like about to hit your prime. Realistically, to me, athletes hit their prime, at least in basketball they do, like around their mid-20s to late 20s.
Yeah.
You know, to early 30s maybe even. You know, that's their prime in terms of what they're going to perform and how they're going to be able to, like, they understand the mental level reaches at that point in time. Because when you're young, that's the scary thing about Mohamed Amir. You know what I mean?
But you know what? He says he was influenced by Salman Butt, right? And I guess this is where I have some issues with Mohamed Amir. He was influenced by Salman Butt, sure. Like, Salman Butt was an elder brother to him, as he would word it himself.
Right.
But at the end of the day, he's 17 years old. An individual knows what's right versus wrong to some degree, right?
Right.
I mean, no one's perfect. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. We've all made mistakes in this world. But at the end of the day, when he's wearing the Pakistani shirt and wearing the Pakistani star on his head, there should be a lot more care.
Do you think there's not enough value given by the cricketers to that?
I think there is.
The level of patriotism? Because, you know, I'd probably say more than any sport I've ever seen.
Yep.
I'd probably say when it comes to cricket and it comes to like Pakistani fans and Indian fans in particular, I don't think I've seen more patriot individuals to any other sport.
Trust me, if I woke up after a cricket match and I could see, like, if my dad was happy,
right,
I knew Pakistan won.
Right.
If my dad was
I know that
mad,
feeling too. Yeah, I know that feeling
lost
too.
and we shouldn't come close to him.
Yeah, exactly.
So it changes people's moods.
When
It's
they
not just a
lost
game.
in the '99 World Cup of Australia, I just felt, and I was like a new cricket fan, I just felt like the world had crashed.
But that's
because we beat them in the prelims, you know what I mean, in the first round in the group stages, and then to come into the finals, I thought they were gonna definitely win. It was a great match in the group stages as well. I don't know if you remember, but it was an awesome match in the group stages as well. And then we went on to lose to Bangladesh in that World Cup too, in the group stage, which was ridiculous. But then we went and we faced Australia, and I was like, okay, if there's one team we can beat, we've proven this.
Yeah.
We have the talent. We can do this. It was in this tournament maybe 2 weeks ago. We should be able to pull this off. And they lost that miserably.
Yeah.
That final was horrendous. I think it was like 132, 133 all out.
I think they said that these guys all went partying the night before and to some amusement park.
So that comes to the question that we were talking about. Like, do you think they're giving enough emphasis? Like, you hear about like a Kobe Bryant who wakes up at 4 a.m. every day, comes into the gym, works extra hours, you know, is like training himself to become the best.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if cricketers do that in general, but
you know what the issue with Pakistani cricket is that they're not playing for the team's kind of benefit. Everyone is worried about their own spot.
Right.
Right? And because everyone is thinking about me, I, if you think about it, the word team doesn't have an I in it, right?
Yeah.
It has TEAM.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, when each individual is kind of worried about their own spot, they're playing for themselves.
Yeah.
How can they kind of think about what the team's going to benefit for down the road, right? So think about it this way. Azhar Ali, the one-day captain, is no longer part of the cricketing team. The one-day cricket.
Wow.
Like, it's unbelievable. And coming back to your earlier question on the PCB, just around that discussion up, I was very disappointed. Although I was very, very happy with Mohamed Amir coming back in the team.
Right.
I was very, very disappointed with PCB allowing Mohamed Amir to come back into the team.
Really?
I was very disappointed. At the
you
end
don't think he deserved a second shot?
If he deserves,
he was so young.
But at the end of the day, I mean, what sort of precedent have they set? Salman Butt, for example, is whining on Twitter and in various interviews that, hey, he performed really well in the domestic circuit. He should be given a second chance. Should he be given a second chance? What do you think?
I think they should be given a second chance.
You think so?
I think if they're performing well, I think if they understand their mistake, I think it
So
should be a
isn't that-
two-strike policy.
But what about Sharjeel Khan then? So Sharjeel Khan, in his mind, if I'm Sharjeel Khan, thinking about it from his psyche, he's seen Mohamed Amir pretty much drop down and pick back
So
himself.
tell Sharjeel Khan to be dropped down for 3, 4, 5 years and then come back.
But then these spot fixing scandals are never going to stop, in my
But
opinion.
I don't
They're
think,
never
I
going
don't,
to
I
stop.
don't think the cricketers that have been caught once will be caught again. That's what I think. I think once they realize, like Mohamed Amir has gone through a process of, okay, he was the star, probably the number one bowler at a certain point in time, and he was only like 18, right? Imagine his trajectory if he had kept playing. You know that Malcolm Gladwell says 10,000 hours to become a perfectionist at your sport? He basically had reached that at age of 18, right? He was becoming a perfectionist at his sport. Imagine how much more he could incline over the next, 10 years of cricket, right? That got cut in half. He is not he's still a good bowler, but I wouldn't say he's remotely the same level that he was 5 years ago. Would you say that he's playing at that level? Not at all.
Not at all.
Right? And that's because they've lost that opportunity now, right? They've lost those 5 years of actually playing at the international level. And any player like Salman Butt, I think if he comes back onto the international level, even if you let him come back, I don't think he's going to be able to perform at the same level as always. If he does, that's even better for our cricket team. If he gets caught again for the scandal, you take him out.
No, I don't think it's going to be good if he comes back in the cricket team, to be honest, because it gives other people the opportunity in their mind as a series of hope, for example.
Yeah, but look how long he's been out. The
Doesn't
series
matter.
of hope to them is like, okay, I got a shot at coming back after 5 to 6
that
years.
makes them think that what they did is justifiable and it's okay, and they can rationalize it. And other people that, as you said, like once a cricketer is caught with a scandal, they're not going to do it again. For sure, they're not going to do it again. But it gives other cricketers the opportunity to think in their minds that, hey,
But that also
he got $50,000 in a second through spot fixing by bowling a no ball. Sure, I'll get $50,000 now, and at risk of getting banned for 4 or 5 years, that's fine. I can use those $50,000 and then come back in the cricket team 5 years down the road again. In my opinion, I think that
Never. They will not take $50,000 over 5 years of cricket.
let's ask your viewers, type in the comments below what you guys think, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Should Mohamed Amir or should Salman Butt? Well, it's too late for Mohamed Amir.
Is he really doing well? I don't know how he's doing.
Salman Butt is doing well. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's doing well.
I think. Well, to be quite honest, Salman Butt also has a video of him talking arrogantly while drinking wine. Do you remember this video?
There are a lot of those videos.
Yeah,
of
there's
all
a
the
ton of
cricketers.
those videos
Yeah.
of him doing that. So that's also something to consider. His character in general.
But that's the thing. It's a very interesting concept. If you think about it, like for example, Rob Ford, we judged his character outside of his workplace.
Right.
Is it okay for us to judge Salman Butt's character
No, when
outside of the
someone is
cricketing
arrogantly
world?
talking, though, he's arrogantly.
Have you ever-
I'm
have
not
you
talking
ever
about
heard
his
Wasim
alcohol
Akram talk?
drinking. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about his arrogance in talking about his scandals in front of a camera. Or I don't even think he knew he was being recorded, but his arrogance of talking about his scandals, like in that video, it's apparent. It's just right there on tape. Whereas certain players won't be at least that arrogant about it. Maybe they did need the money, whatever. It doesn't give them the right to do it. But at the end of the day, someone going through the process, that's like you saying someone that gets convicted of theft, for instance, right? Let's say he gets convicted of theft. There's certain things that I have lines with, but let's say theft, that he was stealing for something, he shouldn't have, go to jail for like 5-6 years and then come back and have an opportunity to come back into employment.
Right.
That's what you're saying, right? Like let's say the 5-6 years was therapeutic and it was the right thing. It turned him around, right? You're saying that this doesn't give you the right to do that.
But let's put it this way: these individuals that are stealing things and whatnot, they're not regarded as, like, for example, I'm not saying that you're a nobody in this world, Zaib. I think you're a fascinating human being and you're a great individual. But these cricket players are regarded as icons in Pakistan, and they're regarded as, to some
kids
degree,
look up to them.
kids
Yeah.
look up to them. Like, there are millions of people looking up to these guys, and if this is the kind of precedent that they're setting, it's not good at all for the image of the country.
Fair enough. And I totally agree. I think it makes Pakistani cricket look terrible. How much of this do you think? So you also hear about, so that's the scandals. You also hear about things like Saeed Ajmal getting banned. How much of that do you think is politics and certain nations pulling
Nations or nation?
we will not name the nation, but Is it ever like a conspiracy in your mind that you think that, you know, when a Pakistani cricketer is performing at his peak, there's always issues like going back to the Shoaib Akhtar days, people, you know, started chucking for his arm. Saeed Ajmal recently before the World Cup, who was doing phenomenal, probably best spinner in the world at that point in time. Right? They basically said, "Oh no, you know, like his action is totally wrong."
Mohammad Hafiz,
exact
same thing.
So
and they never come back the same way.
So tell me, what are your thoughts on that, Fahad Meer? Who do you think is behind these? No, I'm just kidding. No.
To get this.
No, don't do it.
Well, okay. To be very fair, to be very honest. I don't think anyone can pinpoint a certain nation that's behind it, but to me, it just doesn't make sense that before every single big tournament, when players are at their peaks, they get caught up with saying that, oh, his bowling action is incorrect. Right before the World, his bowling is incorrect. Like that's so
odd to me.
It's very odd. It's very odd. And I don't like that at all. To be very honest,
I totally agree with you. I don't like it at all either. But yeah, I was at a wedding yesterday. And one of our listeners came up to me and he's like, "I love your cricket episodes," and I was like, "Huh, okay, we need to do more of these." So, Fahad, like, we tremendously appreciate you coming on and talking about this.
This is awesome, man. I think what you're doing is fantastic, and I wish this channel all the success.
So, in the next, let's say, 2 minutes, tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do outside of cricket. We know you're a big Pakistani cricket fan.
Yeah.
What else do you like to do in general?
So
is there somewhere where we can find you?
Yes, you can find me at www.fahadmeer.com.
There we go.
Thanks for that, Zohaib.
No problem, buddy.
How much I owe you for that?
This isn't a Pakistani scandal, okay?
No, to me, like I'm just another ordinary human being like yourself. In my opinion, living in a very extraordinary world.
Right.
And I'm a big believer that each one of us has the power to change this world. Oftentimes, as human beings, we think that we want to see a lot of change, but how many of us actually look at ourselves in the mirror and say that, hey, we should be the change we want to see in this world?
Right.
So outside of, I guess, the cricketing side of things, I work at an accounting firm, which you probably know very well as well as Abe.
Yes, of course.
But outside of that, like I love to kind of give back to people with my time and hopefully ensure that what I say, what I write can positively impact our community. And that to me is, I think, the way that each one of us should kind of be living our lives as well, especially as Pakistanis, because, you know, a lot of us think of ourselves, look at our community and say that, hey, our community is a type of community that very successful, very knowledgeable, but they don't like helping each other. Right. Like, how many times have you heard that, like, in your life? I've heard it many times.
Many times.
And I hate that. And I feel like as Pakistanis, we have a golden opportunity here in Canada. We're all doing fantastic things that we can help each other out, and not only the Pakistani community out, but the larger Canadian community to make this world a better place.
Which is our home.
And I completely agree with you that Canada is our home. We are Pakistani at heart. Everything about us is Pakistani, but Canada has given us a place to stay, a shelter to kind of have over our head,
opportunity,
safety,
privileges,
everything. And it's only up to us to be able to kind of invest, because you only grow as much as your community grows, right?
Right.
And if you don't invest back in your community, it's not going to grow.
Right.
If you have money in the stock market, does your stock value grow if you don't invest more funds into it, into the right stocks?
No. Yeah.
So if you think about it, your time in this world is money. You know how a lot of people say, "Oh, your time is money."
Yeah.
So if you think about it from that perspective, how many of us choose to invest our time wisely?
Right.
A lot of people think that giving back to the community all involves like giving back money, donating money, and whatnot.
It's donating your time.
But if time is money,
yeah,
why can't you donate your time?
Absolutely, I totally agree with you. And so, no, that's very. I'm not. This isn't the first time I've heard that from you. Naturally, you've been saying this for years to wherever you go in terms of campuses and students that you speak with. So it's always inspirational to hear. It's always, and I'm glad our listeners got to hear that. You know, in terms of that side of you, because obviously you're a Pakistani cricket fan, which is really what the focus of the podcast was. But it's important to have a reminder like this once in a while, and actually, you know, get out there into your communities and actually, you know, make a difference as well. And so, you know, Canada's home for us, and, you know, Canada, we as much as we can, absolutely. And, you know, as much as we can invest and help it grow, we're going to grow as well.
Exactly. I mean, you travel outside the world to Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and whatnot. The feeling of landing back in Canada and knowing that you're back home, it feels amazing. Yeah. And the more you travel, the more you truly appreciate what Canada has to offer here
True.
in this country. So I think together, I think if we focus on giving back, we can make this not only country but this world great again.
Well, we stay away from politics here.
Is that
too.
another podcast?
You got to go to another podcast to talk about that kind of stuff. Yeah, so we appreciate you coming on to the podcast. Hopefully,
thanks for having me.
Hopefully, Pakistan cricket team can make itself great again. Till next time, guys. We really appreciate Fahad coming in. He'll be a frequent visitor, I'm sure, when we have Pakistani cricket matches going on to get his reaction, because we always like to hear the pulse of what the cricket world is all about. Tune in next week where we're talking about March Madness. That's going to be the episode. Talk to you guys later.